So my name is Mattia, Mattia Berrini. I've played violin in the Icarus album with Erik Lankin.
Okay. And so, what was it like listening to the album? Can you tell me a little bit about your experience?
It was very moving. I've worked with composers before, but working with Erik has been special in a way because of the whole story that is behind this music. The fact that he's paying a tribute to his father, and he's doing that by modifying the myth of Icarus and Daedalus, basically reversing the destiny and the fate and what happens to the father and the son, imagining that in his version the father doesn't make it, but he encourages the son to go onward. I found it so touching.
Was this the first time you'd heard the music, or like for the
This
final
is
product?
this is was the yeah, absolutely, was the first time I heard the full album in one shot.
So how does it feel now to hear yourself and
It feels complete because during the process I participated to the recording of just some tracks. So obviously I knew what I had to do, but I had no idea of how my part would fit in the whole story. And now it's very touching to see the final picture.
And I'm just going to back up a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
But can you tell me a little bit about what you were feeling while listening to the album? What was going on in your mind? What was going on in your body?
You know, I was trying to recall the feelings that I had while I was recording, and it's incredible to perceive the difference of the moment when you're playing and you're interacting with musicians, and now that everything has been put together with the electronics. I think Devin has done an amazing job, because even though I enjoyed very much the process, the final result, well, is beyond my ability to describe it in a way. I really, while I was recording, I had no idea of what would come out of it, and it's fantastic now to hear the final version.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much of your time, but is there anything else that you wanted to say about your experience, about your working on the album?
Honestly, I feel blessed about this opportunity. I feel very lucky to have met Erik, and I feel honored that he asked me to participate to this project. It's been great. Really.
Beautiful. That's great.
My name is Silvia.
Okay. And tell me what you're doing here.
I'm here to celebrate Erik's birthday first, and I'm so glad because I'm part of the Icarus project, the Icarus Album project. I'm the one that plays the cello in the album, and I'm so happy to see the final result because, of course, I've been involved in the making of this masterpiece, and I've been, knowing more about my own part and playing with Mattia, who was playing the violin, but I never heard the final project all together, and it makes so much sense, and I'm so touched by Erik's ability to keep track of a project that has so many components and with such a variety, from the reverse piano part to the string ensemble to all the effects that have been added after, and his mastery to deliver such a music with this level of complexity in his nicely manners, with his humble and nice way of being.
Awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about? Because I saw you closing your eyes. I saw you listening. Can you tell me what was going on in your mind? What were you thinking? And maybe what was going on in your body too? How did you feel while you were listening to the album?
The album is very descriptive. It's really telling clearly a story, and knowing that it's related to the old Greek myth, but also to a personal experience of the composer, make it even more touching, because it comes relating, ancient story and culture with everyday life. Not every day for everybody, clearly, but for Erik, this has been his story. And his ability to transform his grief and his experience into music, yeah, it's what is mesmerizing. When I was closing my eyes, it was mostly because I didn't want to watch also the other people around and trying to interpret what they were saying or thinking. And it's also because I know the bones of the work. So when we were playing and there was no effect and we were just the two of us or just maybe the cello solo, and closing the eyes was helping me to really feel and understand all the musical materials being added to the instrumental tracks.
So can you tell me a little bit about your feelings though while you were listening to it? What were you thinking? What were you feeling?
You know, there are so many different feelings because there are so many different moments. I think it's incredible how the end is uplifting. It gives the really idea of having overcome a challenging time. And it's also impressive especially in the Requiem, the feeling of being desperate and hopeless, which is also very touching. And yeah, I do think that the entire story, it can really be deeply emotional for listener, because we all experience moments where we feel helpless, even if we maybe don't go through so many tragic events, and we all feel some moment when we actually regain some hope to fly high again. And it was good to pass through this journey, through this music that Erik has been able to compose for this album.
Now, how do you feel after listening to it?
I'm very happy. I'm very proud. I'm finding myself very lucky because I met Erik and I've been his friend. I'm also being his cello teacher because he's so curious that he doesn't just want to give the job to other people, and he wants to really understand about music at such a deep level that he wants to learn himself to be able to play what he's writing for the other instrument. And this is, I find it so smart and humble at the same time. So I'm glad to see that all this other work that he has put in this production is finally coming out with this beautiful album. I'm proud of him, and I'm glad for myself that I met him.
I don't want to take too much of your time. Did you want to say anything else, though?
I want to suggest to people that will have the chance to listen to this music to do it in a quiet space, to do it several times, because as all the good music, it's better understood from multiple listening, because it has a very it's very profound, it's very depth. So it deserves to be understood. And you will find layers and layers of creativity and human feelings in this music.
Beautiful. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. That was so great.
You're welcome.